Much Ado About Crayfish by Peter Hennessy.
Victor Lucius is the name. Formerly member of CPJD. That's Capital Prime Justice Department, to all you rookies out there. So now I'm private detective Victor Lucius. No problem too big, no crime too small. Mind you, when I say big, I never imagined murder at the Senate building would pop up on my radar. It did, however, and not just that, but a big advance payment, some 10 times what I earn weekly in the force, and when you're struggling to put food on 2 tables, that ain't something you can with good conscience turn down. I may hate all those corrupt politicians that stink up the dome, but I sure as hell don't mind taking money from them, especially considering how it's their laws and their taxes that push thousands a year into the labor houses. Nowadays, you gotta be careful of everyone. If I was caught saying any of this, I might as well end up with the poor blighters down there, spooning giant crayfish out of the sulfur pools 24/7, and living off of nothing but what falls down to them through the garbage disposal. Though, there are times I think I'd rather be confronting crabs than politicians. I've only been to the Deciders Dome once before, and I'd hoped never to be heading through its doors again. Imagine if I'd told the missus where I was going, and she'd have put a bomb on my chest and a pat on my back, and sent me in head first. But I'm gonna have to try my hardest to be diplomatic. A challenge on any day, although there's no incentive quite like the promise of a bulging wallet.
Friends, brothers, and compatriots, today is brought with it an event most terrible, something unheard of in the history of this, our majestic dome. It is with a heavy heart that I must report to you the tragic death of our dear brother Jellicoe, who was discovered to have been murdered this very morning within these most sacred walls. Fear not, brothers, the situation is under control. Security is on high alert and the CPJD have already begun an investigation into the crime. I ask that you all give them your full cooperation in order that this matter be dealt with as quickly and efficiently as possible.
With any luck, good old Horatius there will have whispered just the right words into the Decider's ears, and this police investigation will blow over in no time. He certainly doesn't want anyone snooping around in his affairs, and I have so many better things to do than answer idiot questions from idiot justice officers.
Indeed, sir. The vote for the concessions from the lobster vats is this afternoon, is it not? Yes, I have you down to speak at 5:17, right after our venerable brother Matau.
Ah, yes, thank you, Magentis. I shall now go and prepare a fiery oration. It is imperative that I spur the dock workers into feeding me their votes.
As you so often do, sir. Is there anything more you require of me?
Yes, actually. Go down to the crime scene and monitor the CPJD investigation. Should anything significant happen, report straight back to me. Understood?
Why, certainly, sir. It shall be done.
The gathering shall reconvene at this time tomorrow in order for the deciders to hear from and to select a member of the pool of awaiting. The chosen individual shall be ascended into the recently vacated station of our departed brother Jellicoe, elected representative for the people of Upper City, until such time as an election can be held. Thank you.
My, it's not every day someone loses their pelvis.
Wasn't just the pelvis either. Seems the whole ribcage and the knuckles have been spread around the site. We've just finished collecting them now.
I see. How creative of the fellow. Have any clues presented themselves, officer?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't believe I'm at liberty to discuss the matter with a civilian.
Of course, officer. I'm forgetting my place. Please continue.
Actually, we'll be moving out now, sir. All evidence has been collected and interviews taken, so our job's done.
Oh, wonderful. I've always marveled at the incredible efficiency of our Justice Department.
Quite. I would be grateful if you would inform your superiors of our departure. I do so hate waiting in the lobby.
Of course, officer, it shall be done.
Thanks, we'll be off now. Come on, lads.
That's right, officer. Always keep your wallet fuller than your prisons. Everyone wins. Or almost everyone. Ah, poor Jellicoe. You were like a second father to me. Most regrettable that Brother Ornstein picked you to aid his unexpected treachery. I must admit, I thought better of it, although it made it easier knowing that.
Excuse me. I was told this was the way to the crime scene.
Yes, you're standing in it. But the investigation has been wrapped up. What are you doing here?
No, you misunderstand. I'm not with the CPJD. I'm a private detective. Victor Lucius is the name?
Apologies, Mr. Lucius. I never shake hands. I had a bad experience.
Oh, I see. Now, I don't suppose you know where I can find a Horatius Ornstein, would you?
Why, of course. Brother Ornstein finished his address to the gathering just a short time ago. He will no doubt be in his office chambers. I shall alert him to your arrival, Mr. Lucius.
Thanks. Sorry, I don't appear to have caught your name.
Magentis. Max Magentis.
Well, thanks, Magentis. I'll just get started investigating the crime scene.
Very well, sir. But I don't know what you could possibly find. The CPJD are very thorough.
And now, I don't mean to disillusion you in regards to our oh-so-marvelous police force, but I used to work for them, and I never saw a thorough job done. Not when politics were concerned, anyway. Mind you, Max, I never saw one of this magnitude. I wonder what its significance is.
And you're sure he's been hired by Horatius?
Absolutely, sir. That was the name he gave me. I told him I would inform Brother Ornstein of his presence right away, and then came here directly.
You did well, Magentis. Very well indeed. I must say I did not see this coming. I would have put money on him resisting any kind of investigation. And now he hires someone to do it. Very odd.
He seemed to mean business, this one.
That wouldn't surprise me. I imagine Horatius picked him out himself. He's only ever satisfied with the best. This Lucius cannot be allowed to suspect anything. You should go and deliver your message before he becomes suspicious.
Yes, sir. One last thing, though. The Ascension ceremony is taking place tomorrow, and I was wondering if perhaps...
No, I'm sorry, Magentis, but you know I need you here at my side. This simply isn't the right time for your ascension.
But, sir, surely I could be of far more use to you if I were a brother like yourself.
I have given you my answer, now go.
Yes, sir.
Computer, give me all the information you can on a Lucius Victor private detective. Now, let's see what we're dealing with.
Initial crime scene analysis. Type, homicide. Location, lower basement in the dome. Time of murder between whenever the hell the security cameras randomly stopped working and when they miraculously turned back on. That's way too much of a coincidence. This kill was clearly premeditated, possibly the work of more than one person. But what's the motive? Brother Ornstein, I presume?
The same. You must be Mr. Lucius, the private detective I hired, yes?
That's me.
Firstly, I would like to thank you for taking on this case. I sense from your background that you do not have a great amount of sympathy for those in the Brotherhood of Representatives, and I cannot in all honesty blame you for that.
Sounds like you've done your research.
Forgive me if I've judged you incorrectly, though. I merely wish for us to be on the same page. When one lives as I do among lies and corruption, it is always refreshing to know precisely where one stands in relation to whomsoever he be talking to. I hope we can be honest with one another throughout our investigation.
With all due respect, Brother Ornstein, in my experience, trying to get honesty from politicians is like trying to squeeze water from rocks. It just don't happen.
Well, Mr. Lucius, I hope I prove to be an exception to that rule.
As do I. Now, let's talk business. You hired me because you didn't want all the attention an ongoing CPJD investigation would bring with it, correct?
Correct.
So you must have something a little fishy going on, which you desperately want to keep quiet. Am I getting wrong?
Red hot, actually, and fishy may be just the word to describe my unfortunate situation.
Bingo. Care to elaborate on that?
Not here, Mr. Lucius. The walls in this building have ears, and those ears have ears. Here, meet me at this location and time.
I guess honesty comes with a price nowadays.
It always did, Mr. Lucius, but it's a price I'm willing to pay.
Alright, bartender. A glass of the cheapest whiskey you got.
Coming right up, sir.
Thanks.
Hey, Anton, my usual, please.
Here you go, Brother Gervais.
Evening. I don't believe I've seen you in here before. Are you new to this establishment?
Oh, yeah, I just popped in for a drop or something. You come here often?
Yes, I come here every day. Work just next door.
Ah, I should have noticed your robe. Brother?
Gervais, representative for the harbour people. And you are?
Lucius. Victor Lucius, private detective.
No, really? You solved the mystery of the locust killings last year, did you not?
That was me, yes. You heard about that?
Why, certainly. Many of my constituents noted their gratitude towards you, and I must confess that a few, myself included, chipped into the reward you received from the local council.
Well, gee, thanks. That means a lot to me. When you're working the way I do on the jobs I work on, it can be easy to forget why I do it.
Well, believe me, I know how that feels. Here's a toast to idly jobs and those who do them. Anton, 2 more of the good stuff for me and my friend here. Ah, there you are, Magentis.
You called for me, sir?
Yes, I have another task for you.
Oh, how wonderful. What shall it be this time, sir?
Well, you remember that detective that came snooping around yesterday? Yes, well, he's going to meet Horatius Ornstein in just a short while, and I fear our treacherous brother will attempt to spill all our secrets to the oh-so-trustworthy Mr. Lucius.
But surely we cannot let that happen.
Certainly not. It would be our undoing.
What can we do, sir?
You mean, what can you do?
Yes, sir?
Yesterday I used my great powers of camaraderie on our detective friend, and ingeniously gleaned from him not just the location, but also the time of his covert meeting with dear old Horatius.
How masterful of you, sir.
Indeed, indeed. Now, you shall already be there when the meeting takes place, hidden away from sight, but able to hear all that passes between them.
Why not kill them right away, sir?
As much fun as I know you find it. We don't need any more attention on us after the Jellicoe affair. No, you must bide your time, and only strike if you sense that Ornstein has blown our cover. In the event of such a calamitous spilling of the beans, neither man must be allowed to escape alive.
It shall be done, sir.
Come on, come on. Alright. Ah, finally. I was worried you weren't going to show.
Apologies, Mr. Lucius. My time is not entirely my own. I came as soon as I could.
Of course. Thank you. And I appreciate the risk you take in coming here.
I must be as quick as I can. I'd rather my absence was not noticed.
So, what was it you wanted to tell me?
Wait, follow me. I have become aware of an effort being made by a small group within the Brotherhood of Representatives, a group with evil intentions. They are attempting to take land off the crayfish workers through a new bill they plan to sneak in later today.
Ain't that a good thing? And the sulfur suppliers have been making a mint off the poor's labor for decades. Surely a dent in their output would be great.
On the surface, it does look good, yes, but I know what they plan to do with the land once they take it out of the hands of the sulfur suppliers.
Surely it can't be worse than what goes on down there already.
They plan to breed an army of killer crayfish and storm Capital Prime.
Like the massacre of 57.
Precisely.
How did you find this out?
Well, I was a member of the group.
What?
When the group was founded, I knew nothing of its true purpose. I thought it was simply a workers' rights movement, but then I realized the true intentions of its leader, and Jellicoe and I decided we must act against it.
And I suppose they found out, and he paid the price.
Yes, he was going to report them to the Deciders, so they brutally murdered him.
So what pay off the CPJD investigation?
Well,
I think I've heard quite enough, gentlemen.
In Much Ado About Crayfish, Lucius was played by Edmund Hennessy. Ornstein was played by Peter Hennessy. Gervais was played by James Hennessy. Magentis was played by Benedict Hennessy. Police Officer was played by Peter Hennessy. Anton the Barman was played by Benedict Hennessy. It was written and produced by Peter Hennessy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was some
that was
quality.
big.
That was actually really good.